Good morning, Red Team. I wanted to give you a lesson today about your conclusion. I'm going to start with our running document just to remind you how to use this so you can see it again. Today I have it updated for our Tuesday lesson, so you can see it right here. And if you look, you can just kind of scroll down and see what we're going to be doing throughout the day. Our learning target today is to work on the elements in our conclusion that are going to leave your reader really considering your point of view and hopefully thinking about it and doing something about whatever it is that you are trying to convince them to do or not do. Before you get to the lesson, you can listen to today's minute read, which is about the book Insignificant Events in the Life of a Cactus. It's a really heartwarming book that I think a lot of people would like. So I shared that with you there, so you can listen to that. It's a quick listen, a nice little read aloud. So today we're working on conclusion, and if you look at the notes that I shared with you yesterday, those are going to be the same notes that you're using today. So I'm going to start with the kind of longer version, which is this one that's called Argument, Introduction, and Conclusion. So if you pick that one, and then you scroll down past our intro, you will see where we get to the conclusion. All right. So the conclusion is basically your restated thesis, a summary of your major points, and then some type of significance. So I'm going to kind of summarize those different ideas. So you're going to restate your position in different words from the intro. So you don't want to give the exact same thesis statement, but you also don't want to introduce anything new. If you, in the beginning of your essay, use some type of anecdote or referred to a quote, or use your hook as a way of drawing on a particular fact, your conclusion can be a good place to remind the reader of that. So say, for example, you gave an anecdote about two girls in middle school who were overwhelmed by homework and were unable to concentrate in school and were losing sleep. So if you give that little anecdote, in the conclusion, you might want to remind the reader of those girls and talk about, after all of these things that you've mentioned, not only were they stressed, but they also were affected by their health and they were suffering. Those might all be places that you could kind of draw upon in your conclusion. So that's the first thing you're going to do. Second thing you're going to do is you're going to summarize your main points or reasons. So you're showing what exactly it is that you spoke to. So what were your three main points, your two major body paragraphs and that counterclaim rebuttal paragraph? Just kind of remind the reader of what those were so that you can hopefully keep those fresh in their minds. Then the last thing you're going to do is you're going to have some type of call to action. So in some cases, it's, you want your reader to stop using plastic straws, or you want your reader to vote for a particular candidate, or you want your reader to eliminate homework. So then your call to action is specifically saying, to do one of those things. Sometimes you want your reader to change their mind about something. So in that case, you might want to suggest what might happen in the world if people don't start changing their behavior. So you could say something like, if everyone continues to use fossil fuels the way we are now, then something like that. Or something along the lines of, if we don't change the way people engage on social media, and then kind of show the reader what's going to happen if something isn't done soon. So I want to bring you back to those same three essays that we've been working with. There's the conclusion here that talks about college athletes being paid. There's a conclusion here that talks about pageants. And then there's a conclusion here that talks about smartphones and people being more alone. So all three of those are decent examples. They're ones that we've been working with throughout the whole essay, so I figured keep in rhythm with them. You can see they vary in length, they vary in style, but overall they have those three main points that I'll bring you back to, which is to restate your thesis, summarize the major points, and then offer some type of significance or call to action. So that's your conclusion. It's the last thing that you're going to do on your essay. until we get into just those fine-tuning points of doing your works cited page and making sure that your in-text citations are done. So really, you're almost at the end of this. I think, like me, you're probably glad to be done with this so we can try out some new features of remote learning and get past this, that because of our schedule, we've been on this essay a long time. A couple of things just to remind you of. If you have not yet put your name on that form that says request for feedback, I have not written anything for feedback because I'm assuming that your essay is not in the shape you want it for that feedback. Therefore, probably you'll see zeros in PowerSchool where those paragraphs are if I didn't get a chance to check them in person. That is my way of telling you, hey, you haven't let me know that you want feedback, and that makes me think you're not done. So if you saw those zeros and you're wondering, Mrs. Random, why do I have zeros? Add your name to that feedback form so that I can give you feedback and take out those zeros. I will do those things at the same time. If you haven't asked for feedback yet because you are behind, then you need to really think about what it is that you could use from me to help you get back on track, or maybe where you need to spend more time, or what it is that we can do to get you where you need to be so that when we move on past this essay early next week, you are moving on with us. Okay, so that's all I have to say about conclusion. I'm just going to bring back that essay calendar just so you guys, have a visual of where we are. So if you look on this short essay calendar, it just really has this week on it and then next Monday. You'll see here we are Tuesday. You're working on your conclusion. The notes are all located over here on Monday. Wednesday, tomorrow, you'll be working with a little lesson on Noodle Tools and a works cited. Should be a review, but I think a lot of us could use it. And then you'll move into optional peer editing. Those of you that are behind, peer editing might not happen for you. So if you really think and value that peer editing time, you're going to want to use today to really get caught up. Thursday, just like last Thursday, is a catch-up day. Using feedback from me, using feedback from your peers, using feedback from your parents or siblings to get your draft really close to that final draft place. Friday, we'll focus on independent reading, and then your essay is due on Monday. So that's kind of what we have in front of us. Remember, I'm offering those Google Meets throughout the day. I think they've been helpful to people who have been joining in, and I would love to see you there, even if it's just for a quick hi. They'll be open at those times, 10:55, 11:30, 12:30, and then 2:15. I usually keep them open for the duration of a class period, sometimes just running from one class into another. And who knows, you might even get a little Gregory and Henry appearance, depending on what time it is. So hope to see you there, and good luck on your essay, and I will hopefully talk to you guys all soon. Please email me with questions and let me help you. Have a great day and happy writing.